Hello folks, welcome back to Smart Simple Savings. I'm Stuart and today we are talking mortgages. My last episode, if you caught it, we talked about the median home prices across the country and the salaries needed to buy those homes. Today we're going to take it a step further. We're going to talk about paying off your house early. Should you do it in 5 ways you can, and stay to the very end to hear the method we're using that adds a little bit of risk but can take years off of your mortgage. First, let's talk if you should start paying extra on your mortgage. Number one you should have done first is all other debt paid off. Prioritize all the other debt before you start working on your house. So that's credit card debt, any personal loans, car notes, pay all of those off. Student loans, pay everything off before you move to your house. Once you've got that done, you need to have an emergency fund. You need to make sure you've got at least 3 to 6 months. If you follow Dave Ramsey's baby steps, step 1 is $1,000. Step 2 is the debt snowball where you pay off all debt except your house. Number 3 is 3 to 6 months an emergency fund of built up. So if something happens, you're not going back into debt to cover those expenses. And for me, number 4, before you go into paying off your house, is to max your retirements. If you have a 401k, make sure you're maxing that match. If you have a Roth, make sure you're maxing the allowable, right now it's $6,000 a year per person, into that Roth. Max your retirement account. Once you've done those things, then I think it's okay to start putting extra down on your mortgage. All right, in all the examples, we're assuming a $300,000 house with 20% down, so we don't have to worry about PMI. So your loan is $240,000 at a 4% interest rate. So the principal and interest of your loan is going to be about $1,150. Depending on what your homeowner's insurance and your property taxes are on top of your escrow, your actual payment would be about $1,500. But through this example, the numbers you're going to see, it's only using about the $1,150, which is the principal and interest portion of your payment only. All right, option number 1 is bi-weekly payments. A lot of your mortgage accounts will allow you to set that up online where it'll automatically withdraw every 2 weeks. It's kind of a set it and forget it, and you don't have to worry about it. And what that's going to do, it adds about 1 extra mortgage payment a year. Something to think about is some of them will charge you fees, and some of them can be high fees to get into that program. So make sure you can do the math on that to make sure it's actually worth it. The other option is just to manually, every 2 weeks, make half your mortgage payment. If you get paid every 2 weeks, that's an easy reminder that on payday, you make that transfer. And some can allow that transfers to set up as well. If you don't get paid every 2 weeks, find a way to set a reminder and use your phone, whatever calendar you might use, to remember every 2 weeks to go in and make half that mortgage payment so you don't get caught on any late fees. So that's going to give you an additional mortgage payment a year by using the bi-weekly. It will allow you to pay your house off 4 years early and save you $26,000 in principal and interest. Method 2 is you're going to save up each month and make 1 extra mortgage payment a year. It's $100 a month set aside at the end of the year. Take that $1,200, make sure you put it on the principal, and you're going to pay your house off in 25 years and 11 months. So it's a little bit shorter than the bi-weekly payments, and you're going to end up saving $26,700. So it's a little bit more than the previous. Method 3 is adding to your principal every month. So in this example, we're taking $150 extra a month and putting that down onto our principal. Make sure you note that. Sometimes they may just put it in an escrow account and it's not going to make the impact it would if it was going against your principal. So if you do it online, make sure there should be an option to do the principal, or make a note if you have to send the payment in. But if we're putting an extra $150 down, we're going to make that payoff in 24 years and 11 months. We're going to save just over $38,000 in principals and interest. All right, method number 4 is a lump sum payment. So that can be from some sort of settlement. More than likely it's some type of inheritance you get. But if you get a windfall of money, and in our example we're using $25,000, and you take that $25,000 and lump sum, put it against your mortgage, this is what it looks like. You're going to save 5 years and 4 months on your mortgage, and it's going to save you, that $25,000 is going to save you $50,000 in principals and interest. Here is the 5th and final option. It's the one we personally use that we've done for a few years. Instead of taking that monthly additional payment and putting it onto our mortgage. I'm taking, for us, it's $200 a month. I'm putting it into a brokerage account and investing it into the S&P 500 ETF. And on average, the S&P if you take a 50-year span, any 10-year period, it earns a 10% return. And we've been doing it for a few years. And even through the last few years, major downturn, our return is a negative 0.1%. And so even with the wild market conditions we've had, we're still pretty much even. So if over the next 5 to 10 years, if the market does have its normal return, we'll be able to pay it off even faster than we would if we were putting that $200 down on our mortgage. We're going to take that same $150, and instead of putting it onto the payment, we're going to put it into a brokerage account. So we're going to use that 10% over a 20-year span is going to get us at $114,000. If you look at this amortization schedule, at the 20-year mark, you're at about $113,000, $114,000 left. So you can take that money out and do as a lump sum payoff. You do have to remember there will be some long-term capital gains on this payment, which equates to about 10 to 15% depending on the income bracket that you're in. So don't forget to set some of that aside. So you may have to extend that a few months or maybe even a year. So you're saving an additional 5 years on top of what you would have saved if you were just putting that $150 onto your mortgage. So even if the market only returns 8% or maybe even 6%, you're still going to save more money and save even a year or two on top of the 5 years you were going to do if you were just putting that $150 on your mortgage. So it's a great option, a little bit of volatility, but can save you thousands of dollars and years off your mortgage. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed these methods. Let me know down in the comments if you're using one of these and kind of the reason why. Let me know what you think about it. I really enjoyed doing the research on this one. I love helping people get out of debt and do that sooner. So make sure you like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and let me know in the comments what you think I should start doing next. And I will see you guys in the next one and continue to be smart, simple, and safe.